Hello there, and welcome back to TerraFirmaCraft HardRock. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I've just spent about 10 minutes figuring out what we need to make the Crusher, another immersive engineering multi-structure. This will allow us to crush pretty much all of the ores that we get from mining, as well as a couple other things, leaves apparently, into biofuel. It is powered, but it'll run a lot quicker than using the crushing wheels, and we won't have to use a hammer for this. Although once we crush it, we do need to then bulk wash it again, so I'm going to need to set up a specific washer in our factory here for washing this stuff, and then once it's crushed, it can then go back into the crusher to become dirty dust, which then has to be bulk washed again. But it saves using the millstones or the grind wheels, or no, not grind wheels. Saves having to use the mills. I could use the crushing wheels also for part of this. This would probably be easier, quicker. You get a lot of tiny piles doing this too, so you know it's pretty good for getting bonus resources. Anyway, I looked at all the stuff we need between these steel scaffolding blocks, the light engineering blocks. This is going to be a little bit of a nuisance to make because we got to make a bunch of these. We can make them on here, but it takes double the iron that this does, so I'd want to avoid that if I can. One redstone engineering block, that's pretty easy. These and hoppers, which need any double sheet, so considering I have just an absolute glut of copper, I'll probably be using copper double sheets. But I calculated everything. I'm going to need 28 steel ingots. I'm going to need 64 iron ingots. I'm going to need 72 copper ingots, then 8 nickel ingots, and then I need to make 10 brass mechanisms. So yes, this is going to be a little bit of work. We do have a bunch of copper here, and this is what is that? It's 36, 40 something, 45 or so. We need 72. I have a whole ton being processed down right now, so we don't really have a lack for copper. Iron, on the other hand, to make steel, we're going to need to make, I said 64 iron ingots and then 28 steel ingots, which means we need 92 iron ingots. I don't currently have that much iron, so I'm going to need to go do some manual mining for iron, as well as use the iron that we're getting from our drill over there, which is also processing with the copper over there right now. So I have a lot of processing to do. In addition, every time I use the press up there, my this press here we made last episode, the boiler stops working because the alternator, was it? Electric motor runs out of power, so it stops turning the wheels, so this stops working. So we are going to have to hurry up with building this, the thermoelectric generator. And as I said, I'm going to put it underground. I'm not 100% sure where, but since I now have a floor here, it can go under here and then provide power to all of our immersive engineering. I was going to say industrial engineering. Immersive engineering tools that way. And as another thing, as you might have noticed, I switched over to blue steel tools because my axe was almost dead and was only iron, and my steel shovel was almost dead, and my steel pick was almost dead. So now we've got blue steel, just about everything. Okay, I'm there. You can see them over my head. I'm going to go start collecting more resources, and we'll be back when I can actually make a little bit of progress. This press makes it so much easier to make steel. Just cook up the pig iron, toss on the press, and do it again. We missed one. There we go. We got steel. So I have to turn the rest of this from high carbon steel into just steel, but that's all the steel. 28 ingots of steel should be exactly what we need to make the crusher. I have most of the copper. I gotta double check. We got all these double sheets because we're going to be turning these wooden hoppers into these hoppers, regular hoppers, or well, vanilla hoppers. And actually, to do that, we just place these down on the ground and click them with the double sheet. And there we go. Now we've got full-size hoppers. That'll make... Well, we need them for the actual craft machine. So we can't swap these out for other stuff, but it will... Well, we know how to make them. They're not that bad. They'll make life easier in the future. I still have a lot of processing to do. I have to make another 44 ingots of iron. So this is not going to be enough. I got to go grab more steel. Not steel, iron. I got to grab more iron. I've just been running back and forth between over here making more olive oil since I'm burning through it. Hope I had that closed. Yes, I had it closed. That was almost very bad. If I didn't close it, I would have lost a whole lot of olive oil. I've been running back and forth between making the olive oil over here, running over to our drill over there, refilling the blaze burner with the olive oil, and letting it run, because when you put 4 buckets in, it lasts a while. It lasts so long that the drawers I have over here are filling up. So I got a hopper and a chest, a double chest, and now I have an overflow chest to make up for when the drawers fill up while I am away. Because once it backs up enough, it won't keep producing, and so you're just wasting fuel. But yeah, I've already gotten rid of a lot of the andesite multiple times. We're filling up with copper every single time, which is why I'm using copper as like I used copper for the hopper, because I have just so much copper that it doesn't matter if I use 4 ingots to make a wooden hopper into a regular hopper. And we haven't needed the overflow chest since I set it up, but it's worth having. I don't know why. When you click the olive oil on, it uses up like, well, you see it's got 3.2 left, so it uses up almost 0.8 liters instantly, and then it runs. I just don't know if that's I don't know if it's an internal buffer, but that's what that is, saying that it's got 3.2 liters left. So anyway, we're gonna let this run, get up more iron, and I'll make everything else for the crusher, because let me get rid of the setup we have over there. Oh, and because it is now winter, I had to put clay blocks down so this water doesn't freeze over and stop our drill from working altogether. Alright, I did a little more work off screen, and we now have the thermoelectric generator hooked up down here underneath our forge. Lava on one side, blue ice on the other. It actually filled up pretty quick, and so we have that going through here to a feed through, which then comes up, connects to that relay, which connects to that relay, which then comes back down to that feed through to go through to the other side of the wall and help power the pumps. So now that's done, means that we should be producing enough power that I can throw these on. Yeah, it's barely losing power. Okay, well, it's draining power actually fairly quickly now that I look at it. How far is it going to get before it stops? Okay, so it got slow after doing 10. That's not that great. It's better than it was before, but once it stops, it should charge very quickly. And it's not charging as fast as I thought it would. Well, either way, we do have another power source now. This is not a permanent power source. Ideally, the best power source would probably be, yeah, diesel generator. Here we go. And that produces a high voltage. Yeah, we're going to need transformers when we get to that. Because if you're using high voltage, you need to downgrade it to low voltage in order to power low voltage machines. But yeah, that will be a future project once we actually get you know, the crusher and the refinery, and I think we need the fermenter here in order to make biodiesel. Yeah, because that's what we need to make ethanol, and the biodiesel requires ethanol and seed oil. I apparently had all the steel and all the iron I need, so time to finish processing this and then get back to work. So, continuing off of this, I just had an idea. Now, we're not wasting fuel per se because power is being passively generated, but we can do better. I'm going to just put that there. We're going to make an LV accumulator. It effectively works as a battery. So we need lead plate, redstone acid, raw iron ingot, treated wood. I have all of that here. So put that in. That should fill up. Yep. All right. So lead plate. Then iron ingot. And then treated wood again. And then repeat the process a second time. Okay, so that's an LV accumulator. I need to make another set of wires to power this. But now what we can do is go downstairs. Pick this up. Product going into the fire. Place it there. Grab our hammer. Now if we click on the side, and you know what? I need the book to figure out what the different things are. Blue is input, orange is output, no color is prevents connections. Okay. So okay, that's okay, even says it on it. Okay, so that's gonna be an output. That's an input. Oh, I need to make 2 more, not just 1 more. Okay. Put that one there. Put that one there. And now this only stores 100,000? It's not that much. Oh wait, did that say it only stores 200? I misread the tooltip. I thought that said it stored 250,000. It's just 250. So this holds 100,000 is a ton. So that will store up over time, which means I can run this continuously in the future once it's actually stored up enough. Right now, it's not going to be enough to run continuously, but as you can see, it's lasting the entire batch. And we are almost done with making our steel frames and steel fences here. So that's 8 steel fences and 10 steel frames. Just going to dump these in our backpack for the time being so they have a chance to cool. Next, I just need to take this, make a little bit more copper wires. And I'll show you that in a moment because we are making these vacuum tubes. They go on the engineer's workbench. You need glass. It does say any glass, but any clear glass or stained glass works. Nickel sheets, got that already. Redstone, we got that. And copper wires will be done if I can put them in the mill properly. Yep, and not take them out too soon. That'll get us the wires, and then 1 craft gives us 3. We need 10. We're going to be making 12. Yes. So then we're going to have an extra 2, which is fine because we will find another purpose for them in the near future. I'm sure we will have multiple crafts that need them in the future. So that is the vacuum tubes. Now I need to start making the engineer blocks and the redstone engineer blocks. So I gotta make these iron sheets. I showed them last time. Raw iron sheet plus a raw iron sheet and then stamped a whole bunch of times gives you the iron sheet metal. We need to do that 11 times total for the engineering blocks, light engineering blocks, and for the redstone engineering block. And then we have everything. So I need these. Oh, and I need to make the iron mechanisms first. Let me put that there. Mechanism, then copper, then tube, and then press. And that's our light engineering block. So we got to do this another 9 times. Then we'll be done. Then we will have everything we need for our crusher, except the location. I need to put a floor in up here. We're going to just stick it probably... Well, how big is it? 3 by 5? We can stick it right here just to build it to show you what it looks like. And then afterwards, we're going to be putting a second story in here. And we'll install it up there. Oh, and if you can't tell where the blocks go based on this multi-block image here, you just open up your immersive engineering book, find what you're looking for, and it will show you step by step where each block goes. So you don't have to worry about guessing where you put them. Okay, that's the engineering blocks done. So we just need to grab the hopper up here, which I was using as a buffer while we were collecting all the stuff that was being processed. And this goes there, that there, that there. That up. Couldn't count for a moment. Then we hit that block there. And now we have a crusher. Now I can disassemble this to move it, which we will do. But what we can do is we provide power there. And then we can use this as a hopper up here to throw everything we need to get crushed down into it. And there should be an output. I'm stuck. There should be an output somewhere. That might be it right there. In fact, I think it is. So that'd be the output, and that's where anything that gets crushed down will be dispensed. If you have a hopper there, it'll probably get filled into the hopper. So now, instead of having to do this whole process where we take a hammer and crush a few ores at a time, you know, do this, grab one of those, do this, then wash it and toss in here. We can crush it using the crusher that we just made. That will, of course, leave it in this state. We can then have it be dispensed into a washing system just like this, which we'll build up there. Probably make 2 or 3 more fans. It's not the speed of the fan, it's the amount of fans that speeds up the process. So if we have a fan on top, a fan on the bottom, and a fan here, we can have it blowing into here. And because it's being, oh, you know, we might have to do them on the sides. I'll figure it out. But we can have up to 5 really blowing onto it so that we can have our area over here where it gets picked up. And so we'll have everything get blown, get picked up, get loaded back into the crusher where it will then be crushed again into the dust, which will then be washed again. And then it can be separated out and go to a separate storage system because now we'll be ready to be turned into ore. Not ore, ingots. So that's the crusher. How do I... Can I just break a block and then... Yes. Just break one block and it returns to this shape. So you can move it around nice and easy. Alright. Well, we're only about 20 minutes into the episode, so I actually have a few more projects I want to work on. And the first one is making this external heater. So we need a iron sheet metal block, 3 LV coils, 8 ingots of copper, and a redstone. And this makes a, well, heater. If we put this here, I don't think it needs to be on top. I think it can be on the side. And can we rotate? Yes, we can. We'll do it that way, I think. And then if we grab this, that's powered, and now our crucible is being heated using this instead of instead of the charcoal forge. So I can move this around a bit. Instead of having this be on the side, I can have it on the bottom. Means that we're not going to need charcoal to power the forge. We're not producing. Okay. So this is not a permanent thing. I'm going to want to somehow turn that off instead of having it be on all the time. It will heat it up past, I think up to 2000 Celsius. So this will melt iron, and technically I think it'd melt steel. Yes, it would. Steel is I think only 1500. So you gotta be careful with it, but we can use this to heat up and melt stuff using power instead of using charcoal. Now I have another task. I want to start working on the Arcfurnace. I've done the math. Provided I'm not bad at my math, I need 157 steel ingots, 83 additional iron ingots, which means we're going to need to make, what is that, 240 iron? And then another 38 or so copper ingots and some nickel and whatnot. So we are going to be very busy collecting more iron. I do have 13, 26, 52, 58 ingots worth of iron right now. Oh, plus another 2. 60 ingots worth of iron. That's obviously not going to be enough. Not by a long shot. But we've got more being processed down. We do have the crusher. I moved it to where I said it was going to go in the end. It is now up here. And I've put a temporary floor in at the very least. That is where the power goes into. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a connection running from there to there. But that's where the power goes in. This red dot is actually a redstone input. So if we put a lever on this, we can turn it off and on. So it won't be running continuously. And over here is where I'm going to put our fans and the water source for washing. But that's going to require another 2 propellers, which are each 2 ingots. So it's another 4 iron. So that's 244 iron I actually need to get onto this next part of the project. It's going to take a little while to actually collect all that. And I'm going to have so much copper by the time I get there that I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all of it. And before anyone points it out, I did just rearrange this a bit, and this produces more power than I did before, having 2 sides getting lava and 2 sides with ice. It is now gaining power even with the heater on, and I'm melting down iron. So yeah, do that. It's actually better for you. Apparently I need to make a second weather deflector because this tornado spawned right over my drill. And now I'm in the stratosphere. It's just taking me with it. I can't do anything. I can walk, I think. Yep, no, I'm stuck. There I go. Bye-bye. Hopefully the tornado doesn't mess up any of my drill stuff down there. That would be very annoying. Everything looks fine. Well, this is my life now. I'll let you know when I land. If I land. Hey, you finally let me land. We're only 800 blocks from our base. 850 blocks. Well, it looks like the weather deflector is doing its job because that tornado is not getting any closer to my base. In fact, it's not really moving, and I think that's about 10 chunks from my location where I put the deflector. So yeah, that seems to be working. That aside, I had to move the crusher again. The power hookup, which by the way is like, I had to go look up a video just to figure out where the power hookup was for this thing, is right there. And I had to move it closer to the wall there so it can use the so I can link it up. So this now has power and it crushes pretty fast. I've also moved our water setup. I forgot to put a block over the top of the water, so now it's ice. Okay, let's there we go. Anyway, I'm gonna be setting up a system so there's a chute leading into there to dump anything that gets crushed into there, and then I'll have something else right there to pick up washed products. But this is the current setup. As always, it is extremely ugly because I'm apparently very bad at figuring out how to set up create to look nice, but it does work. And if we go inside and fall down, I am nowhere close to done, but I've got 80 ingots of 120 ingots of steel, another 20 ingots of iron, and then another 80 ingots of iron here. So I got to get back to working on this, but I can't run the crusher and the external heater at the same time. So I've been going back and forth, taking one apart so I can run the other one and vice versa. So, oh, and the press is just indispensable. It makes processing the iron and the carbon steel so much easier. And then I just got this little hopper set up so I can toss a stack on and go about doing other work. It will push the item to the hopper, and the hopper drops in the chest. I'm gonna have almost everything done for this arc furnace by the end of this video. The only problem I'm gonna really have is getting the fire bricks because I do not have enough kaolinite and graphite for that. We're gonna have to go out and collect more, which means traveling around 4,000 blocks away. We could fly using our airplane, provided we have enough fuel. That's good. But yeah, it's gonna take a while. Okay, we're getting there. I'm not gonna finish this project by the end of this episode, but next episode we'll build up the arc furnace and be able to actually test it out. I still need to make one more of these steel sheet metal blocks. I'm a little short on steel. I need to make one more batch. We need to make these light engineering blocks, which means I need to process the iron I have and make a bit more copper too. That's not going to be too much of an issue. The biggest issue are these blocks of steel. So the only way to get a block of steel is to have 9 ingots get poured into a casting basin. The problem with that is the melter here does not get hot enough to make steel. In fact, if I take a steel ingot and I toss it in, not enough heat to melt this item. If I grab a piece of charcoal, it doesn't even turn on. So we cannot melt the steel in the melter, in order to turn it into steel. We can use the crucible, and as I discovered last night, you can take the faucets, I need to do that, from the Tinker's Construct. Now this isn't working the way I thought it would. Okay, how about we do this one and that. Okay, now it's not working. But we could do this. Put that there. Put that there. Click that. That works. It's not the way I was trying to do it. I wanted to use the actual seared channels, but this works. That's how you melt it down. Sorry. That's how you cast it out. And that's our steel block. We need to do this 6 times. That's only 1, and like I said, I'm a little short on steel. We have enough to make 5, and then we're going to be 2 shy to make our 6th, and then we are 6 shy to make this sheet metal block. So, sorry, 4 shy to make the sheet metal block, meaning we're 6 shy in total Like I said, I need to do another batch of steel. But we can at least get most of this done and have almost everything ready. I still have to go travel out, get more clay, get more kaolite. Well, I don't need to get clay. I can make clay now. But I do need to get kaolite and graphite. So it's going to be a trip north. And once that's done, well, like I said, we'll actually build the Arcfurnace next episode. Where it's going to go, I have no idea. I would have to depend on how big the thing is. It would not fit over here. Plus, I want to run... This is going to get moved again. We're going to need to run power over here so that I can power this nice and easily. Now, I want to set up a conveyor belt or something that pulls from here, goes to here, which is very fast, having 3 fans blowing into it. Dumps the items that need to be washed into there, gets picked up, goes back into the crusher if it needs to, otherwise goes into a storage medium of some sort, and then we can automate that process. That's all going to be next episode though, which I kind of only just realized that this episode's going to air on December 20th. We're almost done with the year. And, well, since you won't see me before Christmas, Merry Christmas. Hope you have a wonderful holidays. And on that note, let's end it here for today. Thank you for joining me today. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Later.